You know, opinions are kind of like assholes. It's not quite so painful if you learn to relax. Hey yo, what up? Okay, normally when I do a rant, I do it behind the camera. Normally, I get this guy and this guy to talk for me. This is the evil of the internet. This is myself. And this will be a little bit of a rant, and I will not say, I won't say their name, but you're going to know who I'm talking about. Anyway, before I do that, let's talk about this debacle with the freaking exclusives. So, way back when I was young, when I was still old, but not this old, and probably not in much of a need of a haircut. Gosh, got to get that taken care of. There was Jinx and Zorana, 2 years in a row, SDCC exclusives, done up in that classic style. Now, you just learned why I don't normally do this on camera because I stumble over my words and I have to do a cut. You'll notice that cut. There we are. Anyway, back then, they put them up online at the Hasbro toy shop. And of course, they sold out in seconds to scalpers. I was pissed both times. Sergeant Slaughter was another one that was a SDCC exclusive. The same thing happened. Slaughter, you almost accepted because there was likeness right issues and stuff like that. Same thing with Roddy Piper. I believe that was a Joe Convention exclusive one, though. So it chafed anyway. Especially since Zorana and Jinx were mainline characters who needed to be in the main line. Now, you could have got away with doing the punk Zorana that they also did. And I think everybody would have been okay with that being an SDC exclusive if we got Zorana in the regular line. But of course, a billion D people decided to apologize for Hasbro and make excuses. That pissed me off too. And then Hasbro trolled us with a yellow Jinx. And they released Zorana's mold on Zartan's daughter, Ziana, that no one ever asked for. The argument being, oh, you can customize that to be your Zorana. At this point, I gotten out of customizing because I had a mess. I mean, I got a mess now, but at least they're complete figures. So when this once a man thing happened, I was like, yeah, Hasbro's not changed. And I illustrate this because people are like, oh, but this has happened with Serpentor, this happened with Mindbender. And yeah, they redo it and you eventually get blah, 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 blah. But why go through that freaking headache? Thankfully, I had no desire for this Cobra Commander. I had a great desire for Death's Head. And that's a figure I thought I'd never see. Honestly. It's overpriced, ridiculously. But at the same time, it is I would say that was the top of my top 10 list. So much so, and I believe that it would never be done, I forgot to add him. That being said, I thought he was also an SDCC exclusive. Turned out he goes fan channel. But for a while, I was as pissed as everybody at about the Once a Man Cobra Commander. I have no desire for that figure. I can understand why people have a desire for that figure. I'll let you um, go over that, but I understand your frustration, and I don't blame you. But that Jinx and Zorana shit, and the people apologizing for Hasbro, that's part of the reason I got off the internet. I got sick of that bullshit. I really did. It chafe me very wrong ways. So, I got that old feeling. It's a bad feeling. I don't like when companies pull this bullshit. Okay? And while the Death Heads thing did work out, I'm like sitting here going, that's exactly the way I felt about Jinx and Zorana and the anniversary line. I did not like it. I'm not as invested in classified. My classified goes with my action force. There we are. I mean, that's what happens. And I'm good with that. I'm very happy with that. But, I'm also only invested in my favorites, my guys that I really want. And gosh, this looks like security camera footage. Weird, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I need to invest in a webcam, but that's a conversation for another day. So, in all of this, another topic came up. And you can have your opinions. That's fine. I hate misrepresentations, lies, even lies of lack of knowledge, which I'm going to put that to. And to watch the videos I watched that are not in good faith because research was not done, and it's not like it's hard research. Because of a lack of knowledge, which I consider ironic given the circumstances and given the names involved. I mean, it was really hard for me to sit here and go, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay? I mean, it's what it came down to. You didn't know what you were talking about, and you were wrong in a lot of places. The heat up figures thing is the thing that gets me, because everybody who collects 6-inch figures in the modern world knows you got to heat up figures from time to time. Hasbro. I'm trying not to He-Man it, but as you see, these are stiff joints. I've heated them twice. It happens. Even a Hasbro. This one's a little looser. I think I played with this one a little more. I didn't have that problem with the legs, although there is some stiffness. I would rather have some stiffness than to be all loosey-goosey. I should have had him out. Sorry. Give me one moment, please. Instead of being all loosey-goosey, like this dude is. And I think there's been enough samples of this problem that I don't need to explain it. Because, as we all know, these joints, they get looser over time. What do you think this is going to be like what do you think this is going to be like in 10 years? I mean, he's going to be one of those, shit, I can't even remember. Fuck, my brain went dead. It's on the Family Guy. Forget it. That's my point, though. I mean, yeah, I'm not offended by it or anything. It's just that it's a bunch of stupid stuff. And I see this with people who want to criticize Valaverse all the time. And I don't get it, because it's like, you're either uninformed or you're not bright. If you're uninformed, all it took. I just noticed this. He's got the same problem. Why does this have a hole in the back? Sergeant Major Google, there's an accessory pack specifically for the swarm. By the way, couldn't help but notice. Couldn't shoulder it. Doing the tuck. It's okay. If you're uninformed, that's your fault. It doesn't take much to do a little bit of research on the figures you're looking at. Literally. Now, I'm afraid of a shill and I ain't going to tell the truth. You're right about that. But you know what? It doesn't take long to figure out who the shills are and who isn't. That's easy. I did a video on the fist figures. There are some problems. I didn't trash those near as much as some tried to trash Action Force. Again, I'm not offended. I just don't like lies. That's the truth of the matter. I don't like lies, whether they be uninformed or whether they be outright misleading. I have a hard time believing people don't know to heat figures in this day and age. A very hard time. As much as it's been talked about, as much as it's been done, as much as it's been demonstrated. How do you not know? I was going to dramatically grab my hairdryer that I use to heat figures, but it's out of my reach. Sorry. How do you not know this? And you don't know toys in the modern world. Mythic Legions, their whole thing is heating the toys up. Hasbro doesn't have a freaking thing in there about heating the toy up, but you got this. I don't know if you can hear that or not. It sounds like a Mythic Legion. If you heard it, I'll know in the edit. If not, sorry. I mean, and omitting a whole lot of stuff, I mean, let's be honest. Again, grab... You know what? No, wait. Grab the latest one. Torch. This should be removable, by the way. Yeah, I know, this is supposed to be movable. That's actually pretty cool, actually. But this shit... Give me a break. I've had 2 guns from Valiverse break. 2. One was broken in the package, but I was using that figure for something else, so it didn't matter. It was Steel Brigade. I was using him as Heavy Trooper Steel Brigade. When his gun broke, it didn't matter. I was giving him another gun anyway from the accessories pack. Didn't matter. He was going to be Heavy Weapon Steel Brigade. If you remember that pack. The other one was an M4. I was over here, dropped it. I was looking for it, didn't see it. It blended in with the carpet, and I heard snap. I had stepped on it. Broke the end off. That's it. Those are the broken weapons I've gotten from Valiverse. I've got the 10. Okay, I can't reach it. It's over here. But I have the 10. None of them are broken. I have over 57 figures. None of them are broken. I've never had a broken figure from Valiverse. I have 57 figures from Valiverse. I have 50 from Classified. I did have 2 break. I was able to fix them with some work. But yeah, that was frustrating. Very frustrating. So you look at that ratio there. That's my own personal experience. But, and you know, it sucks you got the ankle issue. What else is somebody supposed to do? It was all over every social media. It was on the 3POA. It was on everywhere. I said something about it. Come on, man. This stuff I don't get. Do some damn research before you start spouting your mouth off. Holy shit. Because if you don't do the research, you look like a fucking idiot. I said it. And no, I'm not meaning this as a personal insult. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm not sitting here calling them an idiot. I'm saying you look like an idiot. Difference. I know it's a very fine line, but you get what I'm saying. Now, and people piss on Bobby Bala. I've talked to Bobby once. It's public. You can go watch it. The thing was, I was telling him what I thought was a funny story. My Urban Commandos. I was opening them, trying to get the gas mask helmet out. And one of the filters popped off and flew over here into a corner. And I know I'm never going to find it. I thought it was funny. And he looked at me like, oh, dude. And he almost looked at me as if to say, do you need a filter? And I went, oh, I bought multiples. I'm fine. It was one filter. You know, I've got like 5. You know, it's okay. I mean, he'll be right-handed. No problem. You know what I mean? But that stuck out to me in that conversation. Because I could tell he was about to say, do you need a replacement? And I was like, no, that was my fault. I mean, it's my freaking fault. And I thought it was a funny story. I didn't mean it as to, you know, be about, you know, need replacement there. And that really stuck out to me. When the ankle issue happened and he made it so public so fast, he had it everywhere. And that stuck out to me too. Because in the times I've had breakages from Hasbro, and oh, let's talk about Marvel Legends on that one. I had a Black Tom Cassidy break right out of the package. I had a Moon Knight break right out of the package. I've had more breakages out of Marvel Legends than anything. There is no thing, there's no policy when that happens. You're fucked. Too bad for you. I mean, you can ask for a replacement. You know what you get? You get something you don't want. Look at the Dungeons and Dragons figures. Why did that line fail? Again, I mean, you really want to compare breakage issues? And it's not just one line. Gummy Weapons? Vipra? Again, I'm not going to release this video until after Chad's live stream because I want to see what is said there. And I may put an amendment, a compendium. I'm lost for words. I had a rough day. Beside the point. But I may put an amendment on this. I may not release this video. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I just had to say, in the nicest way I can, Mattel has gaps too, okay? Come on, man. That was ridiculous. Drop down hips is a piece of articulation I think is stupid. Okay, I never use it. But every time you have it, you get that fucking gap. Oh, but it's not as bad on this one. Yeah, because it's not made as well. It doesn't even work half the time. But some people don't want to hear that shit. Okay, fine, whatever. But yeah, drop down hips create that gap. It's not a big fucking deal. Ugh. That was my thought. Sorry. Okay. I may have said enough. I may not. Let's throw Ken in there just for fun. And Orca. Okay, so I think I've said what I need to say. For the most part, there's more. I mean, it's a little frustrating because it's like you created a problem, and yeah, you're going to appeal to a certain segment of people who don't like the. I saw somebody put it, the Bobby Valla persona. My assessment of Bobby. I pretty much said this to his face, not these exact words. I would rather deal with an honest asshole than a lying person. Hasbro, to stay there, you gotta lie. That's all there is to it. You gotta lie. Bobby, you know where you stand. Always. He'll tell you in no uncertain terms. There's no mystery. It's not like, and I try to be the same way with people. I tell you what I feel, when I feel it, and how I feel it. That's abrasive to some people. And in some ways, I hold back a lot. This guy helps me bring it out. Because if you're a stupid ass, you get to be him. And then I get to respond with sensible bullshit. It's fun for me. And usually it's pretty funny. I don't know how. It just ends up that way. Ooh. Kind of looking like Obi-Wan there, ain't it? In Attack of the Clones there. What do you mean the clones? Clone army? Who would have that? Yeah, just get rid of this gray, huh? Alright. This camera's so shitty it probably makes me look like I'm from a Mad Max movie or something anyway. But yeah, I just decided this needed forward-facing conversation. Am I mad? No. I'm bemused and wondering what anybody thinks they gain out of this. I can't tell you how many times I have said stuff about something someone said without saying the person's name, and I've never got pushback on it. It amazes me how many times I can do that. All right, that's my rant. Take care. Have a good one.